I like when other people celebrate the culture rather than using our culture to celebrate.
Right.
Yeah.
That needs to be clipped.
What's up, Pandies?
Welcome to another episode of the Pandisol Podcast.
Where we explore the flavors of being Filipino and American.
We're your hosts. I'm the Dre Magics.
I'm the fictitious professor.
And I'm EJ Villiaman, and we hope you're hungry.
Because there's plenty to go around. What's up, Pandies? Welcome to another episode of Pandisol Podcast.
ASMR.
We're your hosts. I'm the Dre Magics.
I'm the fictitious professor.
And I'm EJ
Ah!
on my phone.
With the special guest, Naruto. I hope the camera picked that up. Si Naruto.
Nasan si Goku?
Sino tatay mo?
Mr. Satan. We don't have a topic, but we'll think of one. Hey, how is it? Hate dog. All the it's like gala season for like all the movie makers right now.
All the
Because it's
award
the war
shows?
season.
Yeah, but like, why? Why are you laughing?
Yeah, that makes sense. Gala.
Yeah.
Galavant.
Gala apples.
Gala band. Is that where it came from?
The apples?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Gala event?
You
Like
go
gala event?
to a gala.
For apples.
Gala event.
Oh, dude, is that where it's from?
Maybe.
From gala
Puede.
event? I'm gala eventing.
Right. Let's ask Chan.
There's the clip.
I think that's pretty good.
That's kinda spot on,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So-
pretty spot on, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's event season because there's a bunch of like film fests and stuff going on. And there's like a bunch of super niche ones that are like, oh, Asian stuff only.
Yeah, it's my
sounds
niche.
suspect.
Yeah.
But it's also like Filipinos are Asian. How is it like the identifying as both? How has that affected your career and your life? Do you get more support from those communities?
Indifferent. Next question.
Thanks. That's great. That's a great pod.
Yeah.
No, those of us who are around our age are like, okay, cool. And then older folks are kind of like, really? Is he?
You think it's a
What do you mean?
generational thing? Like all the super into your cultural identity shit?
I think so.
Which generation?
I feel like folks our age and a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even with Gen, like Xers, it's kind of like not. I mean, there was like some element of being proud, but like as a separator from other cultures, as opposed to like us. The way that at least how I observed us being proud of being Filipino is like yeah, it's like unification. It's also like celebration of like the unique Filipino identity.
Interesting.
Do you think that's needed as of like in today times of like being super proud, like the representation aspect? Because I get it, like
Right.
maybe during the pandemic or like even a few years ago, you think that representation thing still stands where it's like we need to be seen, but now there are more people being seen in mainstream.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Because like there's stuff like Insane Dentist. They have that whole episode of just like Filipino nurses and shit,
Oh sure.
which is like
Oh yeah, shout out our guest Earl. He was one of the characters
yeah, hell yeah.
in that episode.
Shout out to Earl. But you know that's something our culture has been asking for so long in Hollywood,
Oh right.
and it's like you got it. What do you want? Like what do you?
Right.
Now that we've gotten that step of asking for it,
Yeah, I think it's maintenance now. Like not fucking it up. Like
like who? Oh, what are your thoughts on it from like a not entertainment industry
I think
perspective?
I think that it's nice that a lot of our generation is, I wouldn't say paving the road, but like making that road wider.
How so?
Because I feel like our generation is the one that's more aware of it, that sees what isn't being shown and want to. Wine is not the right word, but like are
Advocate.
advocating. There you go. Thank you for that. That are advocating for it, which is great. Awesome. I love it. I want it to become the norm. I want it to become something that doesn't need to be talked about anymore in the future, and it just happens.
Right.
So for us, or for me at least, not to say the advocating is a phase to go through, but I feel like everyone is gonna have within their generation that phase of trying to advocate for something that they're really interested in seeing, and then after they're, I wouldn't say over it, or after they see whatever effect that they have done, and they're okay with it, they can move on to everything else.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Yeah,
affect
yeah.
them as much. Like for me, like, oh, it's cool. St. Denis had like the nursing and stuff. It's dope. But also like that's not stuff I'm fighting for or advocating for anymore in the future.
What are you advocating for right now?
I'm just trying to fucking live, man. Like I don't know. I'm just trying to get through like work.
So like your
Filipino
personal.
Filipino
Yeah.
driver in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I know. What the heck, man? There's all of us. That'd be kind of cool.
Past and Pures.
I think
boy.
I think like mainstream media, like I don't think there's anything that I need to advocate for anymore. Mainly because I don't consume as much, anyways, too. So I don't really see what's out there. But like, yeah, there's like those people who are like me, like in it for a while that want to push for something and see something really really cool happen and see our people out there. And then after like you see it, you're like, okay, cool. Like I think I'm okay. I'm okay with what's happening now, and I'm glad that other people are still interested in advocating for it and want to see more and more and more.
yeah.
But it's just
Right.
not a battle that I want to choose
Yeah,
anymore.
you don't
right?
need to fight anymore.
No, someone else will do it. And like I
It's
don't
not
want to be
2019 no more.
Yeah, exactly. And even 2010 no more. Like
Yeah.
like I know like the Filipino scene was all the dance.
Swagapinos.
Yeah, the swagapinos, the dances, like the dancer like industry and all that shit. But like, yeah, it's cool. Even though some like movies didn't do as well as we thought they would do as well in, but like,
Dang, like Honey too.
yeah. Oh man, Jessica Alba should have came back.
Step up to the streets.
I like that series.
That's good. Yeah,
Electric Boogaloo.
Simus.
Moose. Yeah.
Okay, so what about like being a consumer? Well, all of us being a consumer of like, we want to support these like products that are Philippine made, but like, there's so much there's such a premium on like foreign products.
What do you
Still
Oh, in the Philippines.
in the Philippines,
Right.
And to Filipinos, right, where it's like, I'd rather buy Kirkland than like.
Oh,
I don't
sure.
know. I mean, like the like Filipino owned shit is like more, is priced like a little higher, but it's like handmade or like artisan
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
or even like rocking, or not wanting to buy like Filipino jewelry because it's like, oh, that shit's corny. Do you think that way, or
Oh,
are
sure.
you like
I know what you mean.
wrapping your culture in that way?
Yeah, honestly, I take a lot of pages from our past guest, Kuya Estilo, in like how to style it in a way that's not like
It feels good.
it's like authentic and not costumey, like the way that the Swagapino era was.
Like the fucking stars and sun on a racer jacket.
Yeah, there's like a lot of
You got one of those?
Still
I've-
in my bag. Yeah.
Nice.
I have jackets of like that. I have
Yeah.
jerseys like that,
Yeah.
which like has its cool and its time and its place. But in terms of like there are a few brands that are doing more subtle nods to Filipino heritage
Yeah.
that are like very ick.
Yeah. No,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And like without that loud ass 3 stars and sun, like they walked so that these new brands can run. Like we know, like, but it also was like not a victim, but it was like a snapshot of the time that we were in, right? And like that was cool. It was cool. Like the Stragopino era, like was a interesting time, but it was also like it gave into jeepney clothing. It gave into like that era, right? And now like the era is like, okay,
Yeah.
now we're more minimalist, or like we're trying not to be as like loud and shit like that, right?
So speaking of like minimalist, right? I know a lot of brands are just like, excuse me, a lot of brands are just their designs are just like one word in like a Filipino type font. Is that the kind of shit you're looking for, or is that too loud even?
I mean,
What the bakla or like whatever
Like-
word they want to rep, right?
like back to like your
Gago,
Kanin.
kanin, all you can kanin.
I think some of those are kind of funny, but like back to like your actually other question about like kind of like support of the consumer, like whatever the brands are, right? I'm not just gonna buy something that's Filipino because they happen to be Filipino. Like I'm not gonna also buy something that's Filipino that looks tacky, right? Like
right.
it's like I'm not gonna like I like that we're in that era that like now there is an abundance of all that stuff.
There's taste.
So we don't have to just because you are this. I'm
You have
gonna
a choice
support
now.
You. Yeah, like that phase was 10 years ago. Like okay, now like we gotta like support them so they come up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But just because like you have a crappy design or whatever, right? You have a crappy, but you're Filipino. Doesn't mean I have to like support you.
Wow. Lagot kayo kasi taste now.
That's how. But that's how it should be. You wanted things to be normal, right? You wanted things that like.
Yeah, I agree.
You want it to be just like how it is now, right? So welcome to it.
I agree with that. If you
Right.
want to be like everyone else, you have to live
Yeah.
up to the standard of
Yeah.
what's premium in everyone else's eyes, right? Like,
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, someone will buy it.
for sure. If you want to be the next Nike, you have to posture yourself
Yeah.
as like that big of a brand or company,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like the stuff we're doing where we're trying to like operate in a way where, I mean, even the podcast, right? We're like, we're trying to put out every day and like every week.
We're
right?
also trying to show more of the spectrum of experience
yeah.
because it's like,
Yeah, we don't need a fucking Pinoy Beatty ass like
Right.
episode. Is Ube too much right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's episode 1 through 10, bro.
Only on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like like none of us are nurses, so that's like even that is like
I
showing
started nursing.
right, a broader Filipino experience.
Yeah.
But I feel like even the people who are nurses that are Filipino, like they have their own experiences that they want to share too.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I don't like not. I don't know. I could never knock someone for like
That hustle.
choosing whatever
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
I
if
mean,
you're a
you know-
nurse, come on to this podcast and like let's talk.
Yeah, I think
That's true.
even
we
if
haven't had a nurse yet.
even I know that's weird, right? Even if that choice is a moment of like necessity or like passion, whatever it is, there's a reason why they chose that like lane.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why we yes, chose the lane we chose, but also rejected that lane
Right.
or like repelled that lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I think with creators and other things like that, like I'm so tired of fucking comedy TikToks about like Filipino accent,
Right.
second floor, lotion.
Lotion.
That's it, just lotion.
Right.
Lotion on the floor.
Lotion in the ocean.
Yeah. And now we need quality jokes like sandwich.
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 Haka.
Nakakaya.
Nahaka inis.
Wait, you want tissue?
Why? Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, bad jokes. No, but I'm saying now that the industry is like kind of equalized. Of course, it's never
It's
going to
not.
be
Yeah.
equal,
Right. Yeah.
right? But
but-
we're getting much more noticed, and then
Yeah.
people are getting upset about like, well, this is bad, or like, it's usually
Bad.
why they complain, right? Because
Right.
something's bad, but it's you just got in the door of the standard,
Right.
right? And like working from your bootstraps. I mean, like us, we have projects that we didn't get taught how to run shit,
Right.
but we're
Figure it out.
figuring it out. And like, yeah, we're probably not at that standard yet of all the other big time podcasts, but
Right.
like, or like even YouTube channels or whatever
Right.
it is. But at least being mindful of like, yo, this is how a high level thing operates. let's try and get it as close to that with our resources as possible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I feel like even taking the pages that we use and learn from for how we network with folks, because it's like you can sort of tell when somebody's new and they're just trying to like connect with anybody and everybody who's even remotely close.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have a more refined criteria for who we really want to work with and collaborate with. It's not just like anybody and everybody.
Yeah, and like in terms of collaboration, right? It's not like we're being gatekeepy or anything like that.
Right.
It's like the things we're looking for in terms of people we're trying to work with are different than what other people are looking for. Where it's like we're not just looking for followers.
Yeah, it's like or like that, and also like a more nuance where it's like we're not doing just like punching down on the Filipino accent.
Yeah.
We're using the Filipino accent to flesh out a character from our own like upbringing and experience. It's like, okay, our family talks like that. It's helping paint a picture of that character, of that person, because then it becomes more relatable.
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh, you know, they exchange their F and P's. That's funny. That's very funny.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's kind of like a tired trope.
Yeah.
At least from like our perspective. And there are
For
folks
sure.
who are just like just discovering that.
Yeah, the
Oh,
white
that's
folk
hilarious.
that are, I know a nursing person who talks like that. I'm like, yo, so what? Go burn your mouth on a peach mango pie.
Right. Or like, and then, or similarly, or I guess maybe the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like I've seen TikToks of non-Filipino nurses to be like, yo, when the Filipino charge nurse brings in food, I'm bringing my own Tupperware, like celebrating that.
I like
aspect
that
of
kind of
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Where it's
cool.
like, I like when other people celebrate the culture rather than using our culture to celebrate.
Right.
Yeah.
That needs to be clipped because that's a super like the way that's worded is like perfect.
Yeah, editor.
Perfect.
It's me now.
That's you.
Future Dre.
Future Drake.
Damn. Ooh, that's a good name.
It's our
Future
DJ
Dre?
name.
Ooh, Future Dre. That's a good artist name.
Dang. I don't want to change all my websites and stuff.
Already paid for the domain for
Yeah.
the decade.
Yeah. I don't know, what are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah. Good job.
You sat there looking like you
Yeah.
wanted to jump in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
tag EJ.
No, that's a
in.
good job. Yeah.
Good job.
No, I mean it's kind of interesting because like you still get those experiences where like it's not that I go out and say I'm Filipino, but like the
You
people
go
would
in and say it.
people are like like oh yeah like I don't know how it happened, but someone found out I was Filipino, and this person was like, oh, that's really cool because like yeah, like my girlfriend's dad's neighbor is Filipino, and like I really love those people. Like they're like the coolest people. And I was like, that's cool. I like how you still have to like try to find a way to relate,
Yeah.
right? But also like I don't know if I'm tired of that or not tired of it yet. But it's funny to me. It's funny that we have to we still have to figure out like how we can connect the dots verbally.
Yeah, like an acknowledgement of,
Yeah.
oh, I
Yeah.
have a familiarity of your culture.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
And like here's my experience.
here are the choices
Yeah.
of experience. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the Joe Coy thing. I met a nurse once, or like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adobo,
I was in the-
Adobo Ponce Lupia Adobo.
yeah, I was in the Navy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was in the Navy. It's a crazy one.
But it's not bad. It's one of those things that I chuckled to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh. He's like, oh yeah, but what are those little
I
things?
keep like
What are these things called? They're like,
making
oh,
all
these
these side comments when you try to talk.
well, like yeah, they're like, yeah, it's like I've never had Jolly before and like all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to spread the culture and like bring them awareness and shit like that, but also like just the initial comment of my girlfriend's
Oh yeah, having
things. You know, you just have to connect the dots
a broad
physically. I'm just like,
connection.
that's funny to me still.
right.
I don't know if it'll ever get tired, if I'll get tired of it, but if I hear it a lot, yes, I probably will. But whatever.
Or like conversely, I've met a white guy and he's talking about their wife. Oh, yeah, my wife's like Filipino. Like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Yeah,
feel
no.
like there was something.
There's something else there.
There's something
Yeah.
here, and then
Yeah.
they mentioned it. I'm like, oh, okay. Awkward.
Yeah. Well, we usually go through that all the time.
Right, used to it.
Yeah, but that's like one thing. I'm like, yo, is that right now what the culture is summed up to be? Is just like purple potato and an egg roll and your wife? That's like crazy. You know what I mean? Like those points of connection
Oh,
are like
sure.
cool. I get it, but also, I don't know. I actually don't know what the fucking solve is, but it's just weird that that's how we're getting connected to.
I don't think that there's a thing that needs to be solved. Like, I think it really depends on how it comes up. In his case, I actually thought it was kind of nice because he was really interested in like he just needed to like understand,
Connect-
right?
yeah.
Connect
Connect with
because
one
like
point,
he's like
yeah.
I really liked my experiences that I have with this neighbor.
Uh-huh.
I love going to their house. I love having their parties, right? And he's like, "Do you know any good Filipino food?" And I'm like, "Okay, I do. If you want to figure it out." I
paella.
saw him like fucking going through his phone, and I was telling him these restaurants, and he's going through his phone and adding these restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said Jollibee, and I was like, "Oh, there's one here too." So like,
I get that.
There's
That's such a cool
right? Yeah, there's like, it has its ebbs and
Noble
flows.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to always like have a negative thought when it comes
Right.
to people trying to make that connection, right?
Yeah, totally.
I think what my biggest like ick is like you see content creators where they're like when they try and sum up the culture in like a weird thing. I think that's what now that we're talking about it, I think that's what it is. Where I see a lot of like people on the internet and they're using the culture as content bait, but they're like summing up the whole culture as like we're all this kind of quirky, and I'm like, yo,
The happy people.
fuck you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Where they're like, I'm Filipino. I also that framework for content is so overplayed and it sucks
Right.
now. But even just like the content within it is like, I'm Filipino. Of course, we're gonna have karaoke in the car or some shit. And
Oh,
it
yeah,
like
yeah.
sums up the culture in like 10 to 20 weird ass quirks that like, hey, here are our signifiers. And I'm like, dog, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's like that's like level 1, and then deeper level is like the stuff that like Kyle's making on social.
Oh yeah.
Kyle and all extra strength on
Yeah,
his
yeah.
IG,
Yeah.
because it's like his
shit's
skits are too real to like. I get
It's
re-triggered.
real life.
very
I get re-triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just like the mom taking pictures, like
Yeah.
that was my entire life.
Yeah,
That was actually even me. Like 2 weeks ago, my
Yeah.
mom was like, "Can you stand there, take a picture?" And she's like, "Smile." And it's like,
And it's like your dumbass like this,
you
Whoa.
didn't even, yeah.
like fake holding something
Dude, yeah.
10 feet behind you.
So like for my grandma's birthday last year, somebody bought her a giant Mylar balloon that was like a birthday cake, and it's still inflated like over a year ago.
Oh, of
my grandma's
course.
back in the Philippines, but my mom wanted me to stand next to the balloon and take a picture.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and then she was like, "How come you're not smiling?" I was like, "You didn't do a countdown."
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
kept taking pictures while I wasn't smiling yet. She getting frustrated. I'm like, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Do you think that content comes in different? I wouldn't say waves, but like there's different
Trends.
like-
Nuances.
No, like there's different. Like here's level 1, here's gate, here's like an entry. What's it called? Gateway. Here's a gateway, joke,
Yeah.
and then it moves
Joke.
on to like level 2, right?
Joke.
And that's like the Kyle shit, right?
Yeah.
And then like it depends on what audience, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's how, yeah. And we have to like, we're so tired of level 1, but some people have not seen level 1 before,
Right. Which is true.
right? So it's like,
And
but the fact that like,
is the fault of the audience or the content creator? Because if everyone keeps creating level 1 shit, they get used to level 1.
That's true.
shit.
exactly, yeah, exactly,
You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
very good point.
yeah,
Like how many series of this is sexier in a Filipino accent?
yeah,
Yeah. Or
Banana.
Yeah. Or even
I'm
yeah.
like, none of that is in a
Yeah.
banana. That's like
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same.
yeah, yeah. No,
Saging.
exactly.
Yeah.
Saging, sinigang, saging.
Sonic.
But yeah, what you brought up with we're Filipino, blah blah. I've seen
Yo,
that
eat
exact
dicks.
format. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I usually skip those now. Like I'm just like, okay, this isn't for me. I
Yeah,
don't
how many
know.
times do I need to see someone walking with the camera? Like
Yeah,
Right. I did see this video in like the barangay where they're playing basketball in like the city's community center or whatever, and it's like
The plaza.
concrete floor,
Yeah.
and then they're like playing basketball, and then they going up for a jump shot, and then they miss, and they go off screen. It's like they're in the banana tree, or they're in like a puddle of water.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Just like
that's
just
that's
like
funny. Yeah.
slapstick comedy
Yeah.
based off of like the
Oh, that's
actual
so good.
surroundings of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
That's
That's
so
hilarious.
that
hilarious.
that stuff is like
Yeah.
really good and well structured. But I think a lot of it is just from like just not throwing shade. It's just data, or it's like it's a bunch of philams really trying to get the clout of it,
Right.
where they're really trying to use the language and culture as like a cheap laugh.
Right.
I'm like, that's cool if that's like what you want to be known for and you think that's your climb to the top.
Right.
But like behind that, what do you stand for? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to like? You just want to make dumbass skits on TikTok all your life, or like,
Shit, that's what we were like 10 years ago, man. Like, I'm like, oh, I just want to make some dumbass shit on Instagram or dumbass shit on Facebook. And then like we move on, we grow up and we like
yeah, that's fair.
that's I think that's that's kind of how I see it.
That's true.
And like I don't know, but I'm also not a content creator besides this, right? Like I see it as like almost like a growing pain or a phase. Like yeah, they want to do some dumb shit and like they're gonna look back at it and like, man, this is stupid. Like why are we thinking like there's like shit's so much more deeper now, and that's where we're at. We're like, dude, there's so much more deeper shit.
Gross.
Number 2.
Dominant die.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, because I feel like
not that I like want them to keep doing that shit because that
Yeah,
shit's
yeah.
boring as fuck.
Right.
But like also
I
like
hope your followers go down.
y'all
Right.
make so much money off of your followers. What the fuck?
You know, more.
right.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about like the stuff we like, the Touch Blue skits, where it wasn't like,
But those
we're
were
Filipino,
good.
but it's like those
were well written.
those were
and those
comedic
were gold.
comedic character skits that they didn't need to be
Yeah.
like. Terry Maddox didn't need to be like, I'm a Filipino immigrant. It was just like he was just Terry
Yeah.
Maddox.
Yeah, that's his universe.
And then obviously towards the end, talking about like it's so hard in the Philippines to make a living, and it's like,
it is.
yeah,
It
we
is.
all like, it's like super relatable.
But yeah, it's
Shout out Touch Blue.
shout out to Touch
I
Blue.
feel like we do shout out every
And
5 episodes.
I think it's the internet version of Kalat Cons, where it's like, yo, is this what we're putting out as a people? Like, in Kalat Con, if you don't know, we've had multiple episodes, but we'll go to like a festival, and I'm like, yo, is this the representation that we're
Yeah.
looking for?
Is this where the bar is?
Yeah, but also
In the dirt?
on the producing side, I do get it because
Right.
if resources are low and or limited,
Right.
and this is like what we're coming up with, but like there's some small tweaks that can be like,
For sure.
do better.
Yeah. A theme.
A theme. The god from the Greece. Thanks.
A theme
I got
hola.
one. I got one.
A theme hola Juan.
Okay, damn. That was,
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, just start doing more puns.
That's what we need.
Stop doing like making fun of the accent.
Hey, I'm Filipino. Hatim hola Juan.
That guy was dark. Itim.
Wow. Nice.
Wow. That was pretty good.
Yeah. He was also thin. Bitin. Elijah one. Okay.
Got nothing.
No, but they.
Yeah. See? It's hard being a Filipino content creator.
Right.
Also a consumer of it, which is like,
Right.
damn, dude. I have a conversation for later off camera, but we'll talk about that later.
Great.
Off
Yeah.
camera.
Let's do that.
So I don't get canceled.
Before we even get started.
Yeah. So what, in terms of like representation and stuff, what would you want to see more moving forward? Or what would you want to do more of moving forward? Like creating more of?
I've seen a handful of like representation aspects within like shows and TV where it's like you just jump into it. Like I'm thinking about Steven Universe with like one of the characters you find out is Filipino because he's like oh, this is my grandma's. Basically, he makes a rolled ube cake,
Cool.
and then kind of explains it. Oh yeah, this is her recipe, and this is the ingredients, and explains what ube is.
And we
not-
throw it away and buy a red
it's-
ribbon one.
Yeah, it's not like a whole like. We're introducing Filipino culture into this episode,
Yeah.
or even with like
Like not
Josh.
make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, or even with like Josh on Blues
Kuya
Clues.
Josh.
Yeah, but also the way that they incorporated. I think his Lola was also on the show.
Or like the Sesame Street puppet.
Yeah.
It's a DJ.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Papuet.
What?
Nothing.
Make sure you watch it. Yeah, I think more like entry into like level 2, just like, oh, this is an aspect of the culture.
Yeah. Cool. Filipino sitcom.
Pares. We're gonna write it.
Pares. Where it's like, yeah, it's just here's a universe that happened to have Filipinos in it, like the normal one,
Oh right.
and it's just more like Phil facing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I liked with the comic Mask of Leah,
Mm-hmm.
because there were some aspects of Filipino culture that they were unapologetic about, even just like some of the taglish things that their characters
Oh.
were saying. And then in the back there's like a glossary of terms for like non-Filipinos. But it wasn't like asterisk in the middle of the page and be like
Right.
explanation right there in the bottom.
Or it's not like a caricature of the
Yeah.
It's like, that's my kuya. He drives a rice rocket.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It's not a bad caricature, guys.
Right.
It's
No,
accurate.
We all have one.
You as a character can't just drive like a souped up car, but like you don't gotta come in like sunglasses and
gelled
My vibe, man.
hair,
That's exactly how I look.
listing thing hair,
frosted tips,
frosted tips. You just be like,
Jinko jeans.
yeah, and having that be the super accented one
Oh, dude.
is wild. You can just be like, "What's up, kuya? What's up, y'all?" And then just like,
What's up, fam?
yeah.
What's up, cuz?
Yeah, hopefully the future looks better.
This is
Hopefully,
bright as the spring light.
or maybe it's just us that need to do it.
Right. Generally.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Yo, but that's been another episode. We've got enough things to clip farm from that one. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pond to Soul Podcast. Until next time, we're your hosts. I'm the Dre Magic.
I'm the fictitious professor.
And I'm EJ Villiaman.
And until next time,
Don't forget your baon.
peace.
O sige na, Pandis. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Pond to Soul Podcast.
And check out previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, check out all our social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Pond to Soul Podcast.
Thanks for laughing, and hope to see you in the next episode, because there's enough pundisal to go around.
And don't forget your baon.